Hi guys, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome back to me at Salmawati. So yesterday we talked about what is linguistic and uniquely in everyday life. So today we will learn more deeply the linguistic use itself in everyday life, being divided into micro and macro-linguistic. So, not for much longer, let's get to the list. Okay, the first, micro-linguistic. Micro-linguistic scan is a concentrated observation of the internal content of the language system. The study of this study leads to the internal structure of a particular language and overall of the language in general. Disciplined study in microlinguistics are as follows. A. Phonology. Phonology is a linguistic scan that studies the sound of language in general, whether sound care for meaning, phonetics, or non-phonemic. According to Chair, 2009, phonology is the study of the vocabulary of sound or phoneme, its language and distribution. Phonology is interpreted as a study of language, learning the sound of language being copied by human speech. The field of phonology is the sound of language as the smallest unit of speech with the combination of sound-forming syllables. B. Morphology. Morphology is the linguistic scan that covers word and word growth. Morphology also involves examining the structure of words, the parts, and the way they form. Kerstein 2002 defined morphology as a linguistic branch in the typing, the basic unit of language and grammatical unit. Morphology study the lines of words and the effect of change in wording on class and meaning of words. Or in other words, it can be said that morphology studies the various forms of words and the function of the change in words, both grammatical and semantic. In the scans of morphology, there is a fraction of the word. C. Semantic. Sematics are a branch of scans that study the meanings or meanings contained in a language, code, or other model, extraction, grammatical, or contextual. In other words, semantics is the learning of meaning. Ordinary semantics are associated with the other two aspects. Syntax are the forming of complex symbols of a more simple symbol, as well as their pragmatics or the use of symbolic practice by community in the certain context. D. Syntax. Syntax is the study of principle and regulation to make a sentence in the sentence. It also investigates the syllables and the one above the word, the relation to each other, and the way it adjusts. Chair 2007 says that syntax is a branch of linguistics that speaks of words in relation to other words or other elements as a speech unit in lysis. In lysis, commonly spoken of an antaxis structure, holding the function, category, syntax rules, syntax unit of phrases, sentence, and discourse. Okay, next, macro-linguistic. The branch of linguistics with language and related extralingual phenomena as a whole, sometimes unusual phenomena. Oxford Dictionary. Unlike linguistic micro, linguistic macro covers language relationship in the other world, whether natural, social, or scientific discipline. Hence, linguistic macro studies are broad and external. Linguistic macro revealed language activities in other areas such as economy and history. The linguistic field of macro-linguistics has been covered: sociolinguistic, psycholinguistic, anthropological, ethnolinguistic, stylistic, sociology, dialectology, language philosophy, and neurolinguistics. A. Sociolinguistic, interdisciplinary study that study relationship and or cultural influence over the way a language is spoken. In this respect, language is closely related to a region, social or cultural society as a subject, or a language speaker as a means of communication and interaction between groups of one another. B. Psycholinguistic, interdisciplinary study that examines language and mental relationship, including how humans process the proximity and language themselves. Haley Indarjuli Jojo 2003 claimed that psycholinguistics is the study of linguistic process in language before using language. A speaker first acquired language. Okay, C. Anthropolinguistic, the study of human and cultural subject. On the one hand, the cultural that created mankind. Cultural linguistics treats language as a phenomenon whose durability is understood only entirely with regard to culture of the people. D. Sticking. Sticking was the study of the language used in form of literary work. Sticking then was the scan of interdiscipline between linguistic and literary scan. A. Philology, the study of language in written historical source, which is a combination of literary, historical, and linguistic criticism. This is more often defined as the study of literary texts and written notes, establishing its authenticity and its authenticity by its establishment and identification of meaning. Philology is also the study of manuscripts, usually from ancient times. F. Language philosophy. Language philosophy is the theory of language successfully presented by philosophers while they are on their way to conceptual knowledge. The main scan of linguistics and philosophy. It examines the nature and position of language as a human activity and as conceptual and theoretical linguistics. Okay, G. Dialectology. Dialectology is the study of dialect, the linguistic branch that examines, isolates different or the communication instrument of language, but become society established its status by treating those difference in tense. H. Neurolinguistics is a study of attempts to understand the brain operation to process language activities, and psycholinguistics does but has a different focus. More portable, neurolinguistics in understanding language or language difficulties, which include talking, hearing, reading, and saying language that interfere with communication ability, quoted by Lauder 2005. A. Paleography. Paleography is a linguistic branch that learns language in relation to the description of ancient writings, particularly at the Middle Age. G. Semantic. Semantic is a branch of linguistics that learns language in relation to symbols. Okay, include in the micro-linguistic study in applied linguistics. Applied linguistics it is applied to study that try to explore language for other world. Applied scan is it? Number 1, medical linguistics, known as language pathology, is an applied field of linguistics containing a language disability and so on. Number 2, educated linguistics, known as the pedagogic linguistics, is the applied linguistic branch associated with increased language teaching efficiency by providing conceptual description of basic process and by employing adequate teaching methods. Number 3, linguistic forensic, also called forensic linguistics, is the applied linguistic branch concerned with the law. Forensic linguistics is used to investigate a crime, which is partially proof of language data. Number 4, lexion, applied linguistic branch that hosts the method and techniques and dictionary. Number 5, translation, an applied field of linguistics that includes methods and techniques of substituting a commission from one language to another. The primary purpose of translation was to produce as closely as possible the original text. Number 6, applied sociolinguistics, applied field learn application for use of language in social communication. Number 7, graphology, linguistic study of symbols used to convey written language message according to the types of symbols chosen to form a writing system. How many symbols are used to transfer language sound into written form. How they use them for reading spoken language. Number 8, language teaching, an applied field of linguistics that learn language for the benefit of the process of learning to teach language with mother tongue or origin. Number 9, mechano-linguistic, also called linguistic computing, is a linguistic field that engages linguistic use for computer scans and attempt at production translation machines, unifying computer and language research. Number 10, language development, an applied linguistic field that learns language in order to bring the speaker to the sense and adhere to the rules. Number 11, medical linguistics, applied linguistics that learn language to be applied in medicine. Number 12, applied phonetics, a branch of applied linguistics that study the sound of language and is used in practice. Okay, well, maybe this is as far as our description of micro and macro linguistics. I apologize if I'm wrong because I'm studying, you're studying, and we are learning, and we can study together here. And thanks to the friend who participate in and love my video. my will be given their blessing. I'm Salmawati. Exit myself. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Don't forget to take care of yourself. Bye bye. See you next time.